Now, we here at Every Movie Ever are big, avowed fans of one Ms. Jessica Chastain. Quite possibly my favorite, I'm not quite sure how to describe her. I don't want to say my favorite working actress quite. That's, of course, Ms. Sigourney Weaver. But probably my favorite actress of her generation. And when I heard that she was going to be headlining this movie, Molly's Game, in which she would, based on a true story in which Jessica Chastain would be portraying one Molly as she runs elaborate poker rooms, I was very intrigued. And that's certainly what the movie is. The movie starts out absolutely fascinating as we find out that Molly was earlier in her life an Olympic-level downhill skier. And at one particular Olympics, while going downhill, her skis, 1 in a million chance, hit this piece of debris that caused her to careen off course and really screw up her spine. It's a longer scene than that might sound like because she really goes into a lot of really interesting depth about the odds against it and exactly what is going on and what has brought her to that point in her life. It's a scene that's immediately arresting and compelling, and I just wish that they had been able to bring that level of detail to the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie, as she enters into a job that brings her into contact with the underground poker world, and then she decides to go out on her own, creating a regular underground poker game for celebrities like Michael Cera, of all people, to play, only to eventually run afoul of the law, is pretty good, but it's got a couple of problems. One, the whole thing's too wordy. There's a lot of narration from Jessica Chastain in this movie, and while it works in those earlier scenes, by the end of the movie, it's become a little tiresome, in part because of Ms. Chastain's cool delivery of pretty much every line of dialogue in the movie. She plays Molly as ultimately calm and collected pretty much through, with a couple of exceptions throughout. And her line delivery in particular in the narration borders on the Vulcan. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is Jessica Chastain's fault per se. These are both hallmarks of the writer and director Aaron Sorkin. You might know Aaron Sorkin probably best from The West Wing and several other television projects. He's also written a bunch of movies, and I believe this is his first time behind the camera of a feature film. I believe he directed a number of episodes of said West Wing. In any case, too wordy and dispassionate are definitely hallmarks of an Aaron Sorkin joint, and they are well on display here. Another Aaron Sorkin hallmark is the old mansplain. Sorkin loves to have dudes explain what's going on to ladies, and one of the harder things to watch about West Wing now, if you go back and look at it, is to realize the lesser position so many of the female characters have been put into, and then watch endless scenes of the male characters explaining things to them. Now, with Molly's Game, you've got Jessica Chastain headlining the thing, so you would think that you would be safe from mansplaining. Unfortunately, the biggest weakness of the movie comes from two characters. One, played by Idris Elba, again, a big every movie favorite here. He plays Molly's lawyer, and he spends most of the movie trying to figure out who Molly is. He is dissatisfied with Molly's version of events and what she has to say about herself, and instead he decides that not only does he need to figure out who she is, but then he needs to explain to Molly who Molly is. To make matters worse, Kevin Costner plays Molly's dad, who for most of the movie is sort of a background specter, this sort of sports dad who had pushed her too hard in her earlier life. Well, he shows up near the end of the movie to give her a real sit-down lecture about who she is and what sort of strategy she should take as far as the legal case surrounding her poker games. It's a real Achilles heel to an already flawed movie to build the movie around who is supposed to be a cool and collected, confident, and capable character, and then to have these two men really tear her down in front of the audience. It's a real shame that is to the movie and the character's detriment. Still, there is enough here to like that I'm more than happy to give Molly's Game 3 stars. And don't forget to visit our website, northmetrotv.com/everymovieever. There, you can watch reviews of every movie we've ever covered here on the show, as well as complete episodes. That's northmetrotv.com/everymovieever.